So our learning objectives for this video is to be able to define status and explain how technology and social media changes our focus on being popular.
So you may be wondering, what is status? Status is the relative social standing of someone. It is a little different of a form of popularity than likability, and it is based on prestige, power, visibility, beauty, influence, and wealth.
So how does technology change our focus on status? So there can be a lot of negative effects. There's more social comparison within your peers, especially with those high in status. More deliberate management and curating of images. For example, putting filters and editing your images. More status-seeking behaviors. More pressure to get a certain amount of likes, and a fear of missing out.
There are also some risks of high status. So teens high in status are at much greater risk for anxiety and depression. Teens high in status are also more likely to get addicted to a substance over time. Teens high in status are more likely to later lose their jobs. And teens high in status are more likely to later get divorced. And as you can see in the photo, oftentimes it is known that teens high in status have lots of notifications, but this can cause anxiety and depression and many other risks. So this is me and Carly in middle school, and so we just wanted to give a little bit of our personal experience. So just because someone appears to have a high status and popularity, that does not mean that they are well-liked, accepted, or have positive relationships. The use of social media gives many teens the false message that perfection and online engagement is a true representation of acceptance and friendship.
So one personal experience that I've had is I had a friend who was very high in status in middle school and in high school due to his behaviors. He was very aggressive, dominant, belittling, and powerful. And these negative traits gave him a high status. However, it did not make him likable to his peers. And although he had this high status in high school, it did not lead to any kind of positive life outcomes, as he ended up getting kicked out of college his first semester. Another example of popularity on social media is that it is becoming the norm for many teens to feel that they have to achieve a high status to be accepted. And so I have a few of my close friends who find it difficult to just post a picture without editing their appearance and their facial features. So instead of casually posting a picture, it becomes this hour-long process to present this perfect image of themselves, to increase their number of likes and the number of followers. And this often leads to a lot of stress and anxiety and just takes the fun out of posting their image. There's apps that detect when someone unfollows them, and so they often lead to anxiety, wondering why someone may have unfollowed them. And so they're doing all of these things in order to gain a self-recognition and self-confidence by promoting themselves to gain a higher status and create a perfect image of themselves, instead of using social media to just connect with friends like it was intended for. And ultimately, this will lead to unhappiness and self-doubt.
So we do have some advice when struggling with status and popularity. So when you're doing your offline activities, we encourage you to live in the moment. Do not worry about taking the perfect picture to post and coming up with a caption, but instead enjoy what you're doing. For example, if I know I do this all the time, if I'm driving or if I'm riding in a car and I see a pretty sunset, I will just immediately take out my phone and take a picture of it. And then before I know it, the sunset is gone and I didn't really get to look at it. So this is just an example of how it would be better to just live in the moment and look at the pretty sunset rather than taking a photo that you probably aren't even going to go back and look at.
We also encourage you, do not look to others for your self-worth. Know that you have value and celebrate your differences and your uniqueness. Um, if people are going to like you, they will accept you for who you are rather than an image that you try to portray.
Also, we encourage that you do not let achieving a high popularity status on social media consume you, as it is not a cure for unhappiness. Having tons of followers, likes, and posts will not fulfill you.